Fix it. It's what it is. All right, Jacoby.
Um, well, Teron, sucks that you put all that effort into your appearance and we can't see you. So
Right. That's the crappy part. And now I can't even. Okay, now I got my screen back up. All right. Well, I'm good. I mean, does my sound coming through okay at least?
yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
We're good to go.
Clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sounds fine.
Okay. All right. All right. So, Jacoby, how you want me to start it up?
If you don't mind, I would like to do the intro
Okay.
today.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Sweet. Casey, kind of keep this in the back of your head. I have one question planned that's going to be like a top 5 list, like your personal, like top 5, regardless of gender. I was going to do all time. It could be all time and current. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Just because Javon's going to have us do that. Like, we're doing that in a couple weeks. We have to give a, like, well, it's going to be a top 100 list, but we're starting with 100 through 91, I think, for the first time. So,
Top 5 wrestlers?
yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool.
We already know who's number 1 on your basketball list. All right. And we can only talk about Dirk for so long.
Hey, Maxi's getting up there.
Hey, okay. Maxi
That's my boy.
I like it. I like it.
My boy.
All right. Other than that, got game face going. All right. So, so guys, obviously, with the Mavericks being so lackluster, currently at 10th in the West, we thought it would be necessary to reach out to our good friend Kasey Catal, diehard Mavs fan, to make sure that she's okay. To make sure that she's doing okay, because I get it.
Wow.
I get it. It is not a fun time.
This is so petty.
Javon also can't talk either, but at least he has a higher seed in the play-in tournament. So,
and at least we have a better record than y'all. So
look. That we're in the other conference. Other conference.
Doing all this talking.
It's fine.
Like,
everything's gonna be fine.
Casey, the disrespect, girl. I'm sorry.
Listen. Given all the heel clips I've seen of Kasey Catal in the last 2 days, you guys have no idea, bro. You have no idea.
I gotta turn the computer for a second and talk about. It's okay because we got some Luca magic on the wall as my ring light just moves awfully. We're gonna be okay.
I think so. It should be fine.
I mean, girl, this is the hardest part of the ring. Nothing ever goes right. I
look at your camera situation.
Yeah.
But Casey, how are you doing? It's been almost 2 months now, so figure.
Wow, it's been that long?
Yeah, I know, right? It feels just like yesterday.
I've been doing nothing with my life. Yeah, everything's pretty good. Like same stuff here. It's snowing like every day, so that sucks. But yeah, I mean, same thing going on.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So like how many inches of snow you guys got up there so far?
God, it's like every 3 days we're getting like, I think we got like 12 to like 15 inches like a week or two ago, and now we're getting like another. Yeah, like up to my car window, like of snow.
That snow is disrespectful. Like, so...
It's crazy. And then you get the call, like, can you come into work? Like, no, I did not come into work.
Oh shit. Oh, that's
I'm like,
so
yeah,
great.
you want to come? And we don't have a shovel because we are great like that. So I'm like taking my hands with gloves and like digging myself out of the car. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God. Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You about to get it again because it's coming up to you guys tonight or tomorrow. And guess what we're getting down here at the beach? Rain.
How much?
Just rain.
Oh, nice.
So we're just getting rain. So you enjoy that snow, that disrespectful weather.
Yeah, I will.
How do your dogs like that snow?
My dog loves. Oh, there she is. She loves the snow, but she does not like being in it for too long. So she'll like run around for a second and then run back inside. So
gotcha. Does her business, then runs back in.
Yeah, sometimes she doesn't. She's like, I'm over it. It's too cold. We put our sweater on, like, but it doesn't work.
Gotcha.
Don't tell me y'all the people that dress your dogs.
If it's cold, I have sweatshirts for her. That's the only thing I dress her in.
Casey, Casey.
It gets so cold. There was a time where I brought her to a show, and it was an outdoor show, and like the end of November is freezing, and the poor dog's like shivering, and I have her wrapped up in like 3 blankets and a hoodie and a hoodie.
I mean, I guess I have a husky, so it doesn't. For me, I'm just like, whatever.
And you have a wolf in your house. Yeah.
I do, I
That's
do
the
have an
realist.
entire wolf, like I do. But
Yeah.
you don't like? Do you dress her up for like for holidays and shit like that? Please say no.
Like we'll be funny and try to put like a bandana on her, but like she'll rip it off and like chew it off, so it doesn't really last long.
But nothing kills me when people dress their dogs up for like Christmas and put them like in a Christmas sweater and then the hat, and then they like walking around like Christmas time with this whole outfit on, looking miserable. It drives me crazy when I see that shit. That is some Becky shit, is what I call that.
Yeah, that's a little excessive. A little
Yes,
excessive.
You don't like
yes.
those dog Christmas cards?
The Christmas cards are fine. It's when you just parade your dog around. They look so sad.
You. You right though.
It's cute
Well,
though.
speaking of
It's cute.
holidays and stuff, Casey, how was your Valentine's Day?
Well, it was good. We did a whole lot of nothing.
Fair.
The night
Fair.
before, we went out to dinner with my in-laws, and it was outdoor dining. Okay,
What?
they sat us outside in 27-degree weather,
My God.
and yeah, they were like, "Oh no, it's gonna be like covered." So they put us in like a shed, but it was like there's a tarp covering from like the cold air. So like the waiter comes over, and I had my napkin on my feet because I wore heels because we're going to a nice restaurant, and my feet were frozen. So I put my napkin on my feet, and he like bent down. He's like, "Oh, you dropped your napkin." I was like, "No, bro. Like I'm covering my feet. They're cold." But yeah, that's all we did.
That's cool though. I mean, obviously it's not ideal, like to get frostbite while you're eating, but
It was awful. I was like, keep bringing the tequila, man, because I gotta warm up
right, right, true.
so bad.
Oh goodness. Well, let's see here. Where do we want to start? So, as I said earlier, I was watching a lot of like some of your old clips and stuff, and I have to ask you, like kind of referring back to the heel stuff. You seem to really love being a heel. Like I watched your Empower match. I think it was against I can't remember, but I remember there was this little girl in the crowd and she was like yelling at you and you like gave it right back to her, like no remorse either. You just kind of were like, yo, fuck them kids. Like
That one little girl would come to every show and heckle me, like heckle the crap out of me. And I was like, if the parents letting her heckle me, I'm coming right back. Like she was,
right.
yeah,
I
she
love
was,
that, though.
she was bad. But yeah, the heel stuff's like really, really fun because you can just kind of do whatever you want. And I remember after one of the Empower shows, I did like this spot on Layla Hirsch where I like cracked her open with a kendo stick, and she was bleeding and stuff. And I remember the video being posted, my grandmother calling me hysterical, crying, asking me why I made that girl bleed and why I busted her open. I was like, oh my god, now I gotta explain to her that I'm like, it's wrestling. Like, relax. She's fine. Like, trust me. She's okay. She ruined my gear with her blood. Like, you're okay.
Why are you traumatizing Grandma, Casey? Why?
My husband, Brandon's Facebook traumatizes her more, so it's okay. I get a pass.
This is
I get a
true,
pass.
yeah. That guy's about as
So
hardcore as it
look,
gets.
Casey. So
Yeah.
during the pandemic, like it's been kind of crazy with the pandemic and things and such. It's been a lot of heat in WWE and also AEW. The first
Mhm.
question I'm gonna ask you is, we lost one due to COVID. They lost their job, I should say, for going to a New Year's party. And that was Steve Cutler. So,
Mhm.
how did you feel about that? You think that was the right move?
I do, but I also I don't, because there's so many of the roster that's just doing whatever the hell they want. So I feel like if you're gonna screw one person over, you're gonna have to screw all of them over who are doing it.
Yeah.
Like I see a ton of people like constantly out, and let me tell you something. Like we wrestle in Florida every month, and when we were there last month, like Disney World, great. Like everyone has a mask on. The airport, great. Everyone's got a mask on. you go out and it's like there's no pandemic. Nobody's following rules. Every bar is crowded. The streets are crowded. Like not even like the workers at the 7-Eleven, the cops, like nobody had masks on. Like you would have no idea. And it was terrifying. And it's like, okay, like are people just in Florida just pretending that this doesn't exist? So it's different. Like people there just don't give a shit. So I mean, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna screw one person over, like screw the rest of them over. Like you can't just kind of pick and choose who you just want to fire because they went to a party, you know?
Do you think since he was on SmackDown and not Raw, the results were different? Because you know who's on Raw on SmackDown's roster versus Raw roster. Do you feel it would be a different outcome if he was on Raw?
I don't know. I don't know because like a lot of the NXT people are acting like idiots. So you know, you would feel like they would be all fired. Like I'm not gonna mention who, but you probably seen all over the internet.
Yeah.
The one
Oh yeah,
person.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't. The thing that gets me
Yeah.
though is they don't even care. Like they just post. Like they just post. And I believe with great power, corny as it may sound, but with great power, there's great responsibility, right? So I mean, as a public figure, that you need to be kind of responsible.
Like, but it also makes you think like, yeah, you're a public figure and you're posting this. Like, don't you think you should, even if you're not following the rules, that you should be pretending to follow the rules? You know what I
Right.
mean? And like,
Right.
tons of people are watching you. Put on your mask for the picture. Like,
Right.
it's not that difficult. And I don't think any of them are vaccinated. So it's just whatever.
So that brings me to my next question. So like during the pandemic, how did it change the dynamic of you guys' locker room and how you function as a wrestler?
Oh, it changed a lot. It changed a lot. I mean, I like the fact that we don't have to really touch anyone like that, like that we're not working with. Like, you have to go do the handshake to everyone. And like, I hate that. And I know it's like a respect thing, but like some people really don't want you to just go over there and shake their hand. Like they just want to do their own thing. And like sometimes you really piss people off if you touch them. And then sometimes you see someone who you haven't seen in a while and you like go for the hug and they're like, I have no idea who you are, or like whatever. It's a whole thing.
Yikes.
So yeah, that's happened to me a few times. So now it's just nice. You can be like, hey, what's up? But yeah, it's definitely strange. And then especially with crowds, like we haven't been able to sell merch or like take pictures with fans, which is really weird. And like the merch thing's like whatever, it's fine. But like if you get close to a fan, they like get away from the fan, So kind of sucks. But I mean, things are getting a little bit more normal. Like I got my first shot, so that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, things are like trending in the right direction, but like, little rules and little things, but hopefully it gets a little better.
Now, definitely as an indie personality and as an indie wrestler, a lot of the your merch is important, right? Just this just it's important. So I mean, when do they plan on like letting you guys sell your merch? Because that's the way you kind of get your name out there, and the way you promote yourself is honestly through your merch. So having that not being able to be sold is kind of crippling. But do you feel that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, there are a lot of really awesome websites that you can just have everyone buy online, and everyone seems to be wanting to buy online because the capacity at shows is lower, so less people are coming to the shows anyway. So it's actually been really nice because it's kind of all handled online. You don't have to worry about trucking, shirts in your luggage when you're going to shows because it takes up half your luggage, So it hasn't been that bad. It's actually been kind of nice.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I saw that you have like a link to what is it, T Public?
Yeah, Teespring.
Okay, gotcha, Teespring, and and stuff like. I saw you like were quick on the mask thing. Like, how long did those take to come in? Like, like taking advantage of what's going on and stuff. Like, I'm just curious. Like, what's the process of getting like your shirts and stuff done? Like, do you do that, or do you like inquire like to people? Like, I don't know.
So that website is actually awesome because they handle everything. So I don't have to have any of the product. So they do everything with their warehouse and they take care of it. All I have to do is upload the design.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, and then I control all the prices and everything else and like how many colors I want it in. So it's actually been pretty easy. And I'm terrible at the merch thing. So like it's been a godsend for me because I don't have to manage any of that. And yeah, so somebody clicks on it, they order it, they send it, and they send me money. So it's pretty sick.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
that works.
That's
Yeah.
easy. We need to get on that
Yeah.
train.
Yeah,
when are
and
we
it's
gonna get
free.
the
And it's free.
Wait, and she said, and it's free.
oh wow,
Jake,
it's
do you
Yeah.
hear
free?
that? Free,
Damn.
You don't have
producer.
to
There
you
you
don't have to
go.
put any money up. Any money up.
Okay, shoot.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Move over to
Monday night,
AC.
like we need to point at our producer
Oh
to
wow.
help
First of all,
produce.
if we're gonna point fingers, we need to point at your husband because we're waiting on the new logo.
I mean,
Oh.
right, new logo will be debuting soon. Stop trying to play me out, homeless boy.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's me. That's me.
right. Team Bishop has this on lockdown. We'll be ready for the
I'm
rebrand,
confident.
and
I
we will
can't say
send
anything.
Kasey and Brandon complimentary hardest part of the ring shirts once the new logo comes out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
We'll rock them.
And then
right,
we can get hers personalized with a nice like trash can on the back of it, you know?
right. A
That,
big ass
that'll be
trash can,
next.
a brute can. That's what we'll do. A giant brute can.
I
So,
can't.
Jacoby, before I hand it over back to you, I got one more question for you, Kasey,
Mhm.
and this is an important one.
Okay.
So, two-parter. AEW's women wrestlers, right? The
Mhm.
women's division. If you listen to the show at all, I am super critical of the female talent in AEW, right?
Mhm.
Um, what's missing? What's missing you feel in the back? Is it training? Is it time to be out, in the ring? Like what is it? Because it's not as polished. Like again, there's some indie promotions that do it way better. Impact does it
Yeah.
way better. Like what's missing when it comes into AEW's roster? And then the second part of it is how do you feel about this tournament?
Good questions. Honestly, I don't fully know the answer to the beginning of that. All of the girls, like if you look at them standalone and you look at them like in their indie careers or whatever they had done before this and just their talent based on what they've done, they're all very talented women. So, it could be a lot of things. It just could be chemistry, it could be lack of experience because a lot of them are really new. It's way different being on camera than it is in an indie crowd. And then a lot of them came in during the pandemic with no fans, so that also could have been like a weird transition to wrestle when it's like just your peers. It's also a lot more stressful because people that are really good and are watching you, so that could be it. A lot of moving parts. A lot
Mm,
of moving parts.
mhm.
And I don't really watch a lot of AEW, but from what I've seen, I think it's getting better. I don't know. Is it kind of trending in the right direction with the women's division or
It's very shaky. Like
yeah?
it's very hit or miss, right? And that's why it's important. I wanted to ask a female talent like this
Yeah.
tournament, right? This tournament has a lot of potential to do a
Yeah.
lot of things
Mhm.
for both sides of the world, like for
Mhm.
American side and also in to introduce Americans to the Japanese wrestling and Japanese to American wrestlers. So how do
Mhm.
you feel about this tournament? Is it a good idea? And who are you most excited to see in that tournament?
Yeah. I think it's an awesome idea. I think it's really really cool that they're kind of branching two things together, and also I think that the Japanese women are going to really help push the level of athleticism and talent up,
Mhm.
which is really good. And I think they're going to bring out the best of their opponents. Hopefully, if there's no language barrier, which there will be, but hopefully they can kind of mesh that. Um, yeah, it's also going to be new because I feel like a lot of the AEW crowd also is a little bit, how should I say this, like the fans don't necessarily love when they don't know who the person is, but then they also like kind of like the new people, like they bounce, you know what I mean? Like if they bring in an AEW a WWE guy, they're like, oh, why are you bringing a WWE guy? But then when they're bringing new people, they're like, oh, who is this? Like we have no idea, like where are they coming from? So I feel like it could kind of go either way, but those girls are insane. So hopefully it really brings a lot of eyes on new products, and
Well,
on them and on the women's division.
hopefully you can start scouting for your trip over to Japan,
Oh
right?
my god,
Because
I know, right? One
so
day.
I
One
know you
day.
want to get there, so
I've been networking.
Oh,
So
okay,
hey,
all
there you
right.
go. There
no.
you go.
put on the charm.
There
All
you go.
right. Well,
Love it.
we
Yeah.
can't wait to do that interview from Japan. Like,
That would be sick.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so
Jacoby.
we'll see. It should be good. It should be good. We'll see what happens.
It's all gonna work out. I have a feeling. I know. I have a weird sixth sense about this stuff. We were talking about merch earlier, and I saw this video, and I kind of wanted some context about it. So you have like your own Funko line now? Like, what's up with that? Like, I thought that
No,
was so precious, though.
people have been hitting me up about that. I'm like, one of the artists around, he's a graphic designer too, Davey Painting. He does like sick like custom Funkos. So I'm not an actual Funko, but I am a custom Funko that somebody made, and he made it for one of my fans, Kathy, who I adore this little girl so much, and her and her father and her mother, they come to every Synergy show, and they're so lovely, and they're like, you've helped her so much with coming out of her shell and being comfortable around people because she is autistic. So it's been really cool. Her face just lit up when she got that, and I was like, all right, I could do this for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
like I don't
see,
know how
there
much
you go.
longer, but that keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's kind of funny because like I go from watching that video to watching you, getting in a verbal fight with this little girl in the crowd, and I was kind of like, all right, where's the middle ground here?
There's none. There's no middle ground.
Gotcha. Another frequent topic that Tehran and I talk about, on and off air is OnlyFans, and for various reasons. But you tweeted out recently about starting one, not like the with like more of a professional one, not like a
Yes.
whatever private Instagram
Yeah.
we'll call it, but this is and basically it's like a Patreon as well, like for different content. So I just wanted to kind of get your perspective on that as it would benefit you, as an indie wrestler.
Yeah, at this point, it's really anything that's going to get your audience, like you're casting out a wider net. So people are going to come for all different reasons. And I think like the coolest thing about like a Patreon or OnlyFans is like, so for me, what I'm doing with my Patreon now is I'm exclusively just having it like vlogging, and I'm doing like day to day, like so people can get to know me on a personal level. So it's literally just going to be like me outside of the ring, so people can connect with me on a deeper level, because I think that's really cool. I'm like, even we're talking about like my love for the Mavs, like I love watching documentaries and like watching them in funny videos and seeing them like post stuff that's personal, because then I'm like, oh, I love these guys, you know what I mean? I get so excited for that. So I think that's going to be really fun for my fans to experience with me.
Yeah.
And then like even like an OnlyFans, like that, it's going to basically be like what I would be using a Patreon for like photo content. So yeah, mine's not going to be nearly what it can be. People told me not to say like what's not going to be on it, because then more people will like buy into it. But like, come on, guys, like
you gotta hold strong to your brand, like, you know what I mean. So
yeah.
if your OnlyFans is gonna have professional content on it, it should have professional content on it. Like,
Right.
I don't believe in the bait and switch, and I commend your integrity, as a strong woman, to say, look, this is gonna be my content. Done.
Yeah.
Like, come and
Yeah.
get it or don't. That's okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
There will be no nudes on my OnlyFans, so I'm really sorry if I disappointed anybody. But I saw people tweeting like, "Oh my God, she's gonna start." I'm like, Jesus, like, no, relax, like, you're not that lucky.
OnlyFans has approached us, and they say,
Yeah.
hey, hardest part of the ring, do you want to put Hollywood Jacoby as your front man, or and Javon and I both like, no. We don't.
I'm rethinking my stance. I'm gonna start ours tonight.
Oh shit.
I'm like,
yeah.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, hey, we got to do what we got to do to make that coin and that bread, like, but
pay the bills somehow, dude.
The only news you will get is Jacoby, though, like, just putting it out there, like, the homeless one, we're gonna put him out there, and we're gonna call it homeless hardest part of the ring.
The homeless part of the ring.
Oh my God.
That'll be the theme of it too. I'll just get some old like dishwasher boxes and stuff, just kind of spread it out, you know.
There's probably a niche for that. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right.
Somewhere.
Right.
Feet pics after
Someone,
that,
yeah.
obviously.
So look, I know we're getting a little closer on time, Jake, and I don't want to the run over it at all. But Kasey, I do have a question for you when it comes down to like OnlyFans,
Mhm.
Instagram, Facebook, and things as such, and kayfabe, right? So I heard
Mhm.
that that's been a big topic lately. So how do
Mhm.
you feel about having so much access for your fans, and you know the amount of kayfabe that exists in the wrestling world right now?
Yeah. Well, for me, like I get both sides. Like I get if you're like a super heel, like you want to be as authentic as possible for your brand. At the same time, look, like we watch movies and we go out to, we go see these celebrities in person. Like clearly, Zac Efron is not really Ted Bundy. Like he's not going to come up and kill you, and you know that.
Right.
So there's a line because these are also people that are supporting you, that are following your career, that are paying for merch and for different things. Like I feel like personally for me, like I owe it to them to just get to know them on a personal level. Like, you're supporting me. Like I'm not gonna go out and be a jerk to you just because people think I need to. You know what I mean? When I'm at a show, when I need to turn that on, like I turn it on. I'm not gonna come out after the show and be like, hey, what's up? But I'm gonna acknowledge people and I'll have fun with them. If I'm like a nasty heel, like I'll come out at the end of the show and just say something a little witty and then like wink at the fan and walk away. You know what I mean? So there's still that little bit of like of me in it. You know what I mean? But like people know, like they're paying for a story and they're paying for the show, and then after I go home, I'm just me. I don't want
Right.
people to follow me to my car and like, which they've done before, and
Oh
like
shit.
think that it's actually real. Like I'm acting.
That's
I, I
crazy.
I mean, I don't know about you guys in kayfabe, Jake and Javon. Like, how do you guys feel about it at this point? I'm 50-50 split, like, right? But how do you guys feel about it?
I'll let Javon take this one.
I miss it, I guess. Because I guess I grew up at the time where it was just like, yeah, it was believable. So kayfabe was the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
when the Horsemen beat up Dusty Rhodes, we hated the Horsemen. It was like, oh, we'll get y'all in the parking lot. Wait till we see you. It's like, because we believe, like, dang, they really jumped this man in the parking lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's now it's kind of like the line there. So it's really kind of really hard to really have kayfabe for real, because it's like, it's just pretty much being a dick to you on Twitter or something for real. Like that's
Yeah,
all it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it's like, what's the point?
right.
Honestly.
Well,
Jake.
I think that it's important to an extent. Like you look at the MJF model where he's just a heel on social media and on the show, right? On AEW and stuff. And you're like, okay, like I can appreciate that because that's like a commitment thing. Like if you're going to go for the kayfabe route, you go at it 100%. And I can respect that, But on the other end of the spectrum, like I get it, like I do miss it to an extent. Cause like you know, you can watch like Nia Jax, right, on Raw, and she's being a heel, she's being the monster, she's doing this and that, doing all the, being bad. And then you watch her on like Total Divas, and there is no kayfabe. It's just all stripped away, and it's just her, and you get to see how vulnerable she is, and different things like that. And you're like, oh, she's no longer like this monster character. She's no longer this monster heel. She's now this person that I can feel empathy for and be, supportive of as well as not like. And it's very confusing as a fan because it's like, when you're in that level of like involvement. Does that make sense? Like, so it's like I miss it, but at the same time, I also appreciate how open superstars are and like how open wrestlers are with their fans on social. Like to me, it's just really cool. So I don't know. I'm kind of like
Yeah.
torn, I guess.
I
So,
think like it's also like it was also easier back then because there wasn't like social media and there wasn't like all these things where you have to constantly be one person you aren't, and that's like also like I would love if I could be a jerk all the time, but like it's so weird because some places will book you, especially in the indies, for being a super baby, and then the next night you'll be a super heel. So it's kind of like you're being torn in all these directions, and then you're not ever allowed to be yourself. You're always like something else, and it's so difficult that you could be stripped away from that. And I think some people who are like constantly that character like kind of lose sight of who they are, because they're becoming like they're like tunnel vision, like I am this like person. It's like, bro, no you're not, like go home. So you know what I mean, like you're not this devil guy, like you cry all the time, bro.
So speaking of Anaya, so how do you feel about her hole?
Oh my gosh.
I saw that clip. That's hysterical.
It's like the best, right? My hole is like the new 316. I don't give a shit what none of y'all say. Like my whole, like brand it, book it, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? I thought it was delightful. Like it was the best thing on the show that night to me. When they tried to run it back, I was just like, okay, I see y'all trying to run it back. Like, but my whole 316, or what was the day that happened? That's what it needs to be on her shirt.
Oh my god.
Done.
That's funny.
A week from
That's
last
funny.
Monday, so it would be February 8th,
Is
right?
Jake talking?
Yeah, February 8th. So it'd be my whole 028, something like that.
Oh, not my whole 28. Not that. Like that is terrible.
Hey,
God.
it's poor planning if you think about it. Could have been 215 or something.
It's
Later.
something. So, Miss Kasey,
Mhm.
we're looking like we're hitting on time here. You got some dates and stuff to plug?
Yeah. So I don't know when it's coming out, but we're doing a synergy taping, so that'll be out soon. And then WrestleMania week, I will be in Tampa, Florida, and I will be doing some shows over there. They haven't been announced yet, but I'll be at Synergy. Like everyone knows, I'll be at Synergy.
And where can we find your merch?
You could find my merch at teespring.com/Catal swag, and my Patreon is up, so it's patreon.com/Kasey Catal, and then I'll have some other stuff, my OnlyFans, I'll have that running up. And if you see me in Tampa and you are at Mania Week, stay 6 feet if you haven't gotten your shot yet, but come say happy birthday, because it's my 30th birthday that weekend. So.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Here we go. And then we have a bonus question, right, from Jacoby, because we got to get her top 5, right?
Yeah. So to kind of introduce it, Javon came up with this devil of a task, and we're gonna do a top 100 for superstars all time. So I figured it'd be kind of fun to kind of get your top 5 to see just before we go here, just to close out.
This is hard. Okay, I was kind of like thinking about it like through this, and I like know like my top 3, but okay. So my top 3, my number 1, Chris Jericho.
I think we established
my number
last
2,
time too, yeah.
Right. A little bit. My number 2, Shawn Michaels. My number 3, taking a real weird turn. I'm going Tommy Dreamer.
Okay.
That's not weird. I love it.
That's on brand. That's super on brand.
A little bit. And this is where I get like dicey, where I'm like, what, those 3. I think my number 4 would be Molly Holly.
Tight.
And then my number 5, oh my god, this is so hard. So there's so many like good ones, but I'm like, who do I love? And I know everyone's gonna riot if I put Natty in the top 5.
Put Natty?
I'll be up there.
Yeah.
I'll be.
Why would people riot for Natty? Natty's solid.
Natty will riot, but do it.
See?
Okay, let's do it. I'll do it. I'll put Natty. These are just the people that I idolize, so
I don't know why people would riot. That's some bullshit for your ass. Natty, first of all, like Natty is that girl. Like she tries real hard, but she's still that girl.
They would riot because it's not Sasha.
Fuck Sasha. And the horse she rode in on.
We're gonna riot.
And her face.
Stop it. Stop it, Kiara.
You damn right. We didn't get Kiara on the show too. Like, you know what I mean? Me and her need to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Sasha Banks, man. Let me tell you. Ooh, she's on that hate list.
Oh,
He is. I don't
God.
know y'all laughing at me for. Y'all should see my face right now. Like it's so serious.
I wish we could, but yeah.
God, you
We
know.
laugh because we know it's true. That's why.
Well,
Oh
Miss
my God.
Catal, as always, it's been a pleasure. Please continue to keep it trashy, because we won't.
No.
All the time, all day, all day.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so much
you.
for your time and stuff. Hopefully, maybe we could try to get you and Brandon on when you guys are in Tampa or something, or maybe when you guys get back,
Yeah,
see what's up. Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah,
So,
for sure.
but until then, thank you
Yeah,
so much for your time, and until
of
next
course.
time, thank you.